Welcome back to the Life and Mindset Diaries podcast with me, Tasha King. I'm coming to you from my car again. I did just try and record a full episode, but my mic died. So yeah, we are without a mic today. But I feel like it doesn't sound any different. It might sound a tad different, but yeah, I'm currently trying to charge my mic. I recorded like half an episode and then my mic died halfway through and everything else that I said just didn't record. So that was great. But today I've been shopping. So we went shopping, we went to Newcastle, got the metro through just because it's easier than driving, and I won't drive through the city centre. That's something that I am working on. But I've drove through the city centre before, just not by myself, with my friend in the car, because she's really good at directions and she's actually really good at keeping us calm in the car as well when it's really busy. But yeah, so the place that I drive to save me from driving through the city centre where I park, it is a little bit out of the way from the actual city centre, so it would have had to walk up a huge bank. I say huge, that's being very dramatic. It's not even that huge, but yeah. Anyway, we would have had to walk really far, and we decided that we didn't want to do that, so we decided to just get the metro. But yeah, it was a fun day. It was very, very busy though. I feel like I expected it to be busy, and you know, I'm not naive to think that it's going to be quiet near Christmas time, because it's not. It's very busy. But I just can't deal with it anymore. I can't deal with all of the hustle and bustle. And I know I feel like I see that every single year. But I'm actually getting to that point where I'm like, I'm done with it now, you know. And this is why I do all of my shopping online. Because it's just so much easier. And I don't get stressed about people getting in my way. I don't get too hot and flustered. I don't have to travel anywhere to pick anything up. I don't have to carry bags around with me. I don't know. Am I turning into a grump? I really don't know. But yeah, anyway, I hope that everyone's sorted for Christmas. Or if not sorted, at least nearly there. I feel very organised this year. Every year I always say I want to be organised for Christmas. And every single year, I'm always rushing around at the last minute and stressing because I haven't got someone's gift, and I feel like I just leave it till the very last minute. But this year I've actually got myself organised, so I've actually only got a few gifts left to get, and then I am officially done for Christmas, and all I need to do is wrap them up. But I feel like that's the part that I actually hate. So I love the idea of wrapping Christmas presents and making them look pretty with pretty bows and ribbon and things like that. But when it actually comes to it, yeah, I get very, very stressed. And I end up not even doing it by myself. My mum ends up taking over and doing it. Obviously not her presents. But yeah, I'm crap at wrapping. I'm really not the best at it. So I feel like if I ever won the lottery, that would be the one thing that I would do every year, is just pay someone to come and wrap my presents for me. Because honestly, it would just be an absolute lifesaver. But yeah, I hope everyone's getting excited, because tomorrow is the 1st of December and means we get to open our advent calendars. I don't care how old I am. I still get an advent calendar every single year, and I still get Christmas pajamas, because it's just a must, and it doesn't matter how old you are. I feel like it's a law that should be abided by, and I really don't care if people say you're too old, because I'm really not. You're only as old as you feel. But anyway, enough of my waffling. I feel like today is not going to be a very long episode, simply because I'm just going to get straight to the point. So I do have a few hard truths for you, but I only say them because I care, and I only say them because I know exactly how it feels to have been there. And this is just what I've learned along the way. But the topic that I'm going to be covering today is victim mindset. If anyone is listening to this and they are currently in a victim mindset, then this is for you. One hard truth that I had to learn is nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. And even if they were, they couldn't save you. No one can save you from yourself. The only person that can save you is you. You're the only person that can get yourself out of the victim mindset and shift your mindset. And it's not easy. And I only see it because I know how it feels, and I was in that mindset. For the past 2 years, I've been in a great mindset. And honestly, although I still have my down days, still have my ups and downs, I feel like I'm actually, like, I'm getting better. Like, every single day, I'm getting better in my mindset. My mindset is stronger now. And I'm not going to sit here and say nothing can break me, because there's always something that can, break people. And our mindsets are very, we're not made of steel. We are only human, and we do have emotions and feelings. But honest to God, before the past 2 years, I was in a victim mindset, and I was always very like, the world is against me, it's me against the world, and everybody, I hated people. Don't get me wrong, I still see that. Like, I'll still see it when I'm like having a day, if I don't know, say come across people that are rude or whatever, I will see it. I'll get in the car and I'll be like, I hate people. But now I don't see it like as, it doesn't have the same meaning. It does have the same meaning, but not like what it used to. Like, I used to actually hate people. Like, I was so antisocial. I don't like to be sociable all of the time. But I feel like I'm starting to learn that that's just a human thing. Like, I feel like we all have social batteries, and they do run out from time to time. So sometimes I will go off the grid for a little bit just to kind of recharge my batteries. And I feel like that's okay, because that's part of our self-care. But I was I was in that mindset where I was just like, I hate people. They're all assholes. The only people that I actually liked were the people around me that, like, my friends and family and things. And yeah, that was it. And I just felt like nothing could get better. Nothing was going to work. I felt like I was just in like a little bit of a spiral where I couldn't actually believe that there was anything like good that was going to happen to me. Like, everything bad always happens to me. That's exactly how I felt. And that's probably how you feel right now if you are in that victim mindset. You feel like you are a victim, and you look at your past and past situations and things that have happened to you in your past, and you constantly go over it, and you're constantly thinking, why me? Like, why me? Like, if that hadn't have happened, then I wouldn't be like this. And you just get like angry and like frustrated at things that happened in the past. But what you don't realise is, because you're actually clinging on to stuff like that and like from the past, and you're not letting it go, you are creating this victim mindset for yourself. You're doing this to yourself. No one else is doing it to you. The world isn't against you. And not everybody's an arsehole. Tell you the truth, because I am on the other side of it now. And I'll tell you, there are really nice people out there. And I know it because I've experienced it firsthand. Here's a good one for you. So when I always say to you, what you put out into the world, you get back, right? When you're in a victim mindset, you don't put any positive vibes out there. You don't. Because you're just negative all the time, And everything's all about how negative everything is, and everything's just shit. But trust me, when you get out of that victim mindset, which you will, if you want to, if you work goddamn hard at it, which you have to, because no one else can help you out of that victim mindset but you. And if you don't do it, then you're just gonna stay the same for the rest of your life, always being the victim, always being pity me. And honest to God, people are not going to stick around for that. They're really not. Because having a friend, and honest to God, I feel like a hypocrite saying this to other people that are in a victim mindset, because I was one of them. But the thing is, if you don't help yourself out of it and kick your own arse to get out of that victim mindset, you are going to end up, it's going to end up being at the point where you don't have many friends, or your friends simply don't want to be around you all the time because they're just sick of you, bringing the mood down. Because that's exactly what you do when you're in a victim mindset. You constantly bring the mood down without realising it. You're constantly talking about your troubles and your negative, how shitty life is, and how shitty your mental health is, and this, that and the other. Just how shitty everything is. And you're constantly complaining as well. That's another thing. You complain a lot and you don't realise it. But when you're constantly complaining, that's like negative. It's adding negativity. Like, it's putting negative vibes out into the world. And that's exactly what you're getting back. You don't realise it until you come out of that mindset. That's what happens. What you put out into the world, you get back. And now that I know that, it all makes sense. It makes so much fucking sense to me now as to why, when I was in that mindset, nothing positive ever happened, because I wasn't putting positive vibes out there. So here's a one for you. The other day, I was out with Milo, taking him for a walk, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's the dark nights, but the past few weeks, he's been really reactive to people more. He is reactive to people. He doesn't like people for some reason. Don't ask me why. Really don't know. If I could open up his brain and figure out why, I absolutely would, but I can't. But yeah, he doesn't like people. He's fine with dogs, just doesn't like people. Had a dog trainer out, they told me he's nervous, but he does come across as aggressive because he barks at people. And it is really horrible when I'm out on a walk with him sometimes and he's really, really reactive, because it actually sets my anxiety off, because I know that not everybody's going to be nice about it. And you do get some Karens, that kind of give you a tut or a look or whatever. But anyway, I was out. We were walking along a path next to a bus stop. A bus came round, stopped, let a woman off. This woman got off the bus, and I knew exactly what he was going to do because she had to walk past us. So I kept him on a short lead, and I stood there for about 2 minutes, and I let her past, and he started barking at her. And when I say he was barking at her, he was really, really barking at her. Like, he was not happy. And she apologised to me. And that set something in me, that set something off of me, as if to be like, oh my God, like, I was so angry at him. And I understand that it isn't his fault, because I do feel like something has happened when he's a baby before we got him. I do feel like something has happened to make him like this. I don't know what. But anyway, she apologised to me, and I turned around as Milo was still barking, and I've literally got him, like, I've pulled him up onto his back 2 legs because he's like barking at her. And I said to her, no, you don't have to apologise to me. It is not your fault. Like, she can't help that she had to walk past me. Like, okay, you have to just walk on the road now because I've got a reactive dog. No, that's not the way that it works. So I said to her, I was like, no, don't apologise. It isn't your fault. And then she stopped, and she was literally like 2 meters away. And as Milo was still barking at her, she was like, no, I get it. I understand. She said, I used to have a reactive dog. And she said, I know what it's like when you're out on a walk with them. And that does happen, and they are reactive. She said, and you get some really, like, you get some people that can be really funny with you about it, even though you apologise and things like that. They can be, like, really horrible about it. And I was like, I honestly, I got so emotional telling my friend about it because, and I know that might sound daft, but it's because every time I have a good encounter with someone, it really does, it hits me in a certain way because it restores my faith in humanity because of how I used to feel and how I used to look at people, like in general. Honestly, like it really does restore my faith in humanity, and it makes it actually like it creates like a little bit of light in me each time I have that nice encounter with someone, because I'm like, I walk away and the rest of my day I'm happy. And this is why I always say, when you are out, if you walk past someone and you make you catch eye contact with them, give them a smile. You don't know how much they might need that smile, and how, honestly, something so little as a smile can make somebody's day, because it really actually does. I've had that before where I've been having a bad day, and I've had Milo out on a walk, and dog walkers can be very nice and are very sociable. I found that through COVID. When I used to take Milo out, everybody was like morning or afternoon, whatever. But where I take Milo sometimes on a weekend, there are a lot of dog walkers. So you'll be walking along and somebody might just smile at you or go, "Good morning." And honestly, it sounds really daft, but something so little is just 2 words, "good morning," and a smile. It really does make your day. Because I go the rest of the day and I remember that, and I'm happy, and I'm going about my day, and I'm like, I'm in such a good mood because of it. So when I do say, just be kind to people, you don't have to go out of your way and, do a big, it doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. It can be so much as a smile. And you do not understand how much that person might have needed that smile that day. They could have had a really bad morning or a really bad day before that, and they might have just been feeling really shitty about themselves, and having someone, like a stranger in the street, smile at them, it can really boost their mood. But honestly, that is how I feel now, and that is simply because I've shifted my mindset and I'm not a victim. Your trauma doesn't make you a victim. And I don't care what you say. I don't care, because I know you'll be sitting there and be like, well, I've had all of this happen to me and blah, blah. I really don't give a shit what you've had happen in your life. Why are you letting it make you a victim? Why are you letting it define you? You're letting all of that trauma and all of that bad, negative, or whoever, if it's someone in your past, that's been really shitty to you, or, you've endured trauma because of them, why are you letting them win? Because that's what you're doing. You're letting your past define you. Our experiences do not define us. Yeah, okay, they shape us and maybe make us like who we are, but that doesn't have to be like in a bad way. Like, I feel like every bad experience you go through in life is a lesson. And yes, it's shitty. And yes, okay, you are allowed to feel bad about it. You are allowed to feel a certain way about it, feel sad. Your emotions are valid, but you can't keep playing the victim all of the time. It's like, I'm not saying everyone's like this, but some people, they'll go through life being really toxic and really shitty, and I've experienced this firsthand, okay? They will blame every bad decision that they make, okay? Or for every person they hurt, every toxic decision that they make, okay? They will blame all of that on a past experience when you confront them about it. Why did you do this? Or why did you say that to me? That was really mean. Oh, well, I'm really sorry, but it's just because this happened 10 years ago, and, I still get really, oh my God, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Shut the hell up. How is that my problem? Don't bleed your toxic energy onto me and then blame it on something else that happened. It's like when people say, oh, I've lost someone's died, and that's why I'm a shitty person or whatever. No, no, no. Do not blame it on that person dying. I'm sorry. Yes, it is awful when you lose a person. I know first fucking hand, okay? And that is one of the reasons why I actually had I had depression and anxiety. One of the reasons I did go a bit downhill when I was younger, because I lost a really important person in my life when I was very young. And yeah, it did affect me. But I've never once sat there and made a bad decision or hurt someone or done anything in that sense and said, oh, do you know what? It's just because I've really, I lost someone. No, that is so shitty. Do you know how shitty that is? To actually blame it on the death of like a loved one. You're tarnishing that person's memory by doing that. And that is not okay. It is not okay. And honestly, most people that do this, you're the type of person that has gone down the spiral so far that you're not willing to get yourself back up again. You're not willing to get the help. You just want to bleed all of your trauma and toxicity onto other people. And I get it in a sense of you're feeling that way, so you want others to feel that way. But I'm sorry, life moves on. It does. Life moves on. The world keeps spinning. Everybody still has to live their life and do things. And yes, it is shitty, whatever happened to you, whatever trauma you've had in your past. But do not let it make you a fucking victim, because you are not a victim. And you know what? I'm not being funny. I've learned this the hard way as well. When you are going through something, okay, when you are in a depressive state, or, when you are in this shitty mindset, people will be there for you. They'll try and help you through it for so long. But then after a while, like I say, life moves on. And I'm not saying there is a time limit on when you have to be okay again, because there isn't. Honestly, grief is different for everybody. Some people are able to, get back up quickly. Some people aren't. And that there's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you have to spend so long grieving and then after that so long you have to get back up again and live again. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, if you let that define the rest of your life, then there's something wrong and you need to get help. Like, if you can't get over grief on your own, there's no shame in asking for help. There's no shame in going to therapy. Or, like I say, just self-help. Sometimes that's all you need. And that's all I needed. I just needed to figure out a way of how to get out of that shitty mindset. And I did. When I started network marketing 2 years ago, I think it was. And honestly, when I first went into that, I really did. I just thought it was just going to be all about the business. But honest to God, in that network marketing business, I met a community of girls that lifted me up. And I will forever be grateful for all of those girls, because they taught me personal development. They brought that into my life, and they made my mindset shift from being a victim to being a goddamn fucking boss. Literally, because that is what you are. If you just think about it, okay, it doesn't take much to shift your mindset. And I know when you're in the victim mindset, it's easier said than done, because people used to say that to me all the time. You just need to change your mindset. And I would get so fucking frustrated with them. Like, why do you keep saying those words to me? Tell me how. How do I change my mindset? But nobody can tell you how. Nobody can do it for you but you. I can give you tips on how to shift your mindset, but that doesn't mean you're going to go away and use them. Because I know all too well when you're in a victim mindset, people will say you, they'll give you solutions, okay? But you'll always have something to say back, as to say, well, no, that doesn't work, that's not going to work, this isn't going to work. You'll always find something negative to say back. And that is the exhausting part about having someone in your life that is in a victim mindset. And I'm sorry to tell you, but your friends, they love you and they care for you, but they get really drained and exhausted of trying to help you, and you just don't listen. Because I was that person. Luckily, my best friend stuck around, and she constantly, every single day, was on at me. Not on at me in a bad way. Not in a bad way. And I did sometimes used to leave her house and think, oh my God, what a bitch. Why can't she just let me wallow in this? But honestly, God, I'm glad she didn't. I'm really glad she didn't. Tough love. You're going to get a lot of tough love from people. You know, if you do still have people around you that actually care and want to help you out of this victim mindset and whatever, but they will give you tough love. And honestly, just believe that it's coming from a really good place, because I used to honestly go around my friend's house and she would always be like, how I felt at the time, like nagging at me. And I used to think, go away, just leave me alone. Just leave me to wallow in my self-pity. But honestly, she was just the best at that time. And I feel like even though I did all of the work, she did help push me towards that. And she pushed me out of my comfort zone. But honestly, so little habits, okay, for you to try. And I know you're going to go away and you're probably going to be like, oh, I'm not doing any of them, what she said, because it's not going to work. Just try. And these are not big things that you have to do, okay? They are small things, small daily habits that you can implement into your life to change your mindset, okay? So, number 1, start journaling. Start writing down your thoughts on a daily basis. You don't have to do it on a daily basis. You can do it on a weekly basis. However, or just when you feel like you need to, okay? Number 2, read self-help books. I will actually recommend some. I'll put some recommendations for self-help books on my Instagram and my TikTok. The ones that have helped me. Number 3, podcasts. You might not be a podcast listener, okay? You might not be. But just wait a second. I wasn't either. Before I started network marketing, I never used to listen to podcasts, okay? Just never really had a fancy for them. Never even tried. And then when I started network marketing and I started personal development, we used to do a weekly tracker. And it was a personal development tracker. And they would put things on there for you to do. Just little habits every single week. And you would give it to your mentor. Send it to your mentor every week. You would tick it off. When honestly, that gave me so much dopamine. You don't understand. I love ticky things and lists. Awesome. But anyway, yeah. And one of them on there was podcasts. Listen to a podcast. So I started listening to mindset podcasts. And then it just grew from there. And then I found myself listening to I don't know, murder mystery podcasts. I listened to one called I can't remember what her name is. Bailey something. She's really good. If you need any recommendations, I'll try and find out what her name is. But anyway, mindset podcasts, comedy podcasts, I was listening to them all. And then now look at me. I've got my own podcast. Woohoo! But yeah, literally, I know you might be sitting there thinking, well, how is any of this going to work? But trust me, if you just implement these things into your daily life, like I say, you don't have to, it's nothing big, it's just little things. Another thing, go on a walk by yourself with your headphones in, listening to a podcast or listening to your favourite music. Another thing, if you drive, go for a drive on your own. Blast your music, do what I do. Have a one-man carpool karaoke and then have people sitting at the traffic lights looking at you like you're an idiot. Because that's what I do. And honest to God, it makes me happy. Makes me happy. I love driving. I love driving places with other people in my car, but I love nothing more than being in the car by myself and having my music blasting, my favourite music. And it's probably the same song I've been listening to for weeks. But yeah, that's another thing. And what is the other thing? If you're into skincare, set yourself, put a day aside each week, or even 2 days, whatever you want, where it's literally just for you. Where you could just say, I don't know, have a bath with some bath bombs, reading a book, put a face mask on, skincare, self-care. Honest to God, I love skincare. I really do. Anyone that follows my personal Instagram page, you'll know that I'm obsessed with skincare. I am very, very obsessed. And I will be doing a face mask either tonight or in the morning before I go in the shower. Because it's just an obsession. I've got so much skincare stuff you wouldn't believe. But anyway, going off topic again. But literally, any of those, just try them. You don't have to do every single one that I've mentioned. But it is just something little, like small habits. And trust me, if you do it, anyone that does these, that does actually take my advice and start doing these small habits each day, I want you after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, or even when you start feeling like they are changing something in your mindset, or if you start feeling a little bit different after trying them for however long, because I know obviously some people it might take time, but some people might not take a lot of time. Please message me on Instagram, life and mindset diaries _ the pod. I think I've got that right. Never remember it. But please message me. Please message me if you've tried any of these habits and you do start to feel a difference. Because honest to God, I would love it if it just helped even one person. Because these things helped me. And I'm not saying that what helps me is going to help you. You're going to find your own way. You're going to find your own little things, your own little niches. But honest to God, if it helps, please message me. And if anyone needs to chat or anything like that, you feel like you don't have anyone to speak to, I am always open to messages. So please do. And also, if there is anything that you want me to talk about on the podcast, if it's maybe your own story, but you want to, stay anonymous, that's fine. And you want me just to tell your story, then I can do that for you. Just give me a message on my Instagram or TikTok, whichever. But yeah, that is today's episode, guys. I hope this helps. And like I say, any of those habits, if you do try them, just reach out and let me know how it's going. And if you do need any help with anything or any recommendations for podcasts and books, I will be posting them on my Instagram. I will do that tomorrow. But please just message me. I'm always here. But I will speak to you next time. Bye, guys.